Yo, still bills. What's the deal, man? I'm out here. I gotta go make a quick store run and get back home, man. My wife is out of town, so my little man don't like being home when ain't no grown folk there. So I gotta hurry up and do what I do and get back. But peep game, man, we gotta get into some shit, man. And that's um this Lomachenko situation, man. I just literally went back and rewatched the fight last night, man, and my thoughts on the fight has not changed one bit. I still think I still think Lomachenko won, or at the very most it should have been a draw. I had it 4-4 going into the 9th round. I had Lomachenko winning, sweeping the 9th, the 10th, and the 11th, and then Devin Haney getting the 12th. So making it 7-5 now. I don't think it was a robbery, because I could see an argument of somebody saying that Devin Haney won the fight, as I've stated before. But in my personal opinion, I just feel Lomachenko did. I just felt that he did the better work. He did the better work. Yeah, Lomachenko would do his little shifts and his pivots, and Devin Haney early on in the fight was able to spin out with him and hook off the turn. I thought that was really good work. The body work was there. He did real good work there, but I just felt like Lomachenko was just a lot more poised in there, and he held his composure down the stretch and was able to bank some rounds in, man. But nonetheless, I think I do think that he won. But that's my personal opinion as a fan of the sport. I'm not a scribe. I'm not I'm not an insider. I'm not what you would call it. I'm not a journalist. I'm not any of them things. So my personal opinion on the fight, it pales in comparison compared to somebody who's in a space where whatever they put down is going to speak to is going to reach a lot more masses than I will, and that's including if I was just to go viral on a status on Facebook. I feel like when you have a dude like Kevin Iole who's like, yo, we're gonna keep Lomachenko on our pound for pound list, but we're not gonna put Devin Haney on it because he got, it was a robbery, man. I just feel like that is just completely just subjective, and I think that warrants a lot of criticism, man, because I just think, pound for pound isn't about your personal opinion. To a certain degree it is, but it has to be done within a realm of reality, so you can contextualize why it is you feel the way that you feel. When you have Canelo, Inoue, Crawford, and Usyk in your pound for pound rankings as number one, that it becomes opinionated. It becomes opinionated when trying to decipher which one of those 4 fighters are ranked number one on the pound for pound rankings. The difference is, though, they're all pound for pound caliber fighters, all of them, and they all have an argument for being number one. So now when you take into consideration what this Kevin Iole dude just did, we're dropping Devin Haney off of the rankings and keeping Lomachenko on there, it's no different than somebody like Champside, who has Tank and Jaron Ennis on the top 10 pound for pound list. That's a crummy list, and it's no justification for putting them 2 niggas on the list. There's no way you can get around implementing any of them dudes onto the top 10 pound for pound list, because they, pound for pound is all about skill set. Skill set is because it goes into how you finish off a fight, how you win a fight, and it's also not accommodation, but accolades that you amass throughout your career. And neither one of them have done enough to be implemented into anybody's pound for pound list objectively. There's no way you can get around that, man. I think this is exactly why people feel the way that they feel about Vasily Lomachenko, him being white privilege. This is why they scream that shit from the top of their lungs. This is why they scream that shit. This is why they scream, man, he's this and that and the third and yada yada yada. That is the reason right there. But on the flip side of that, a lot of people who are talking about Lomachenko being kept on the pound for pound list by a lot of people's estimation, are the same niggas who ain't have no issue with Deontay Wilder staying top of the I forget what section about it. I don't know if it was the BA or the BC. I think it was the WBC. They had no issues with Wilder staying at the top of those lists after getting brutalized twice. Back to back. Back to back. I'm not a fan of either fighter staying on, keeping their position within those rankings, because I just feel like, you did lose, and a loss must be honored, and a win must be honored. I definitely am. I'm not a fan of that. I'm not a fan of that at all. I do think Lomachenko won, but to put him over Devin Haney when Devin Haney is the one who beat him is just completely asinine to me. There's no justification for that shit. And this is why you get the narratives that you get when people come out and they become boisterous about it, because it's fucked up. It's fucked up. It's real fucked up. So I just think that's just overtly ridiculous, man. You have a responsibility, Kevin Iole, to the public to let shit be known. It's not about, you've been following sports long enough to where it's not about your personal opinion. It's not about your feelings. Get the fuck out your feelings. You don't get to tell a nigga that he not pound for pound because you don't feel that he's pound. There's people who hate Canelo Alvarez, but you can't deny his pound for pound rankings. You can't deny his accolades that he's amassed over, a damn near 2-decade career, length career. There's no, you can't get around that. It's not about you. It's not about you whatsoever. You don't get to make those decisions. And if you do, it's going to be very hard for somebody to take your opinion on the sport serious. Because I know I won't after this shit. I can't look at you and say, oh man, he has a respectable opinion on the sport of boxing. No, I can't do that. I can't do that. I will not do that. And I do think Lomachenko won the fight, but you got to be able to call the shit down the middle. You have to go out of your way to keep shit on an even playing field. And when you don't do that, these are the results that you get, bro. That shit is whack. That shit is whack. Don't come over here talking to me that you're gonna drop off Devin Haney, the undisputed world champion who just beat Lomachenko, and keep Lomachenko on there. That shit is foul. That's foul. You're no different than a champ side. You're no different than a lot of these other cats pound for pound rankings who's top heavy with black American talent, despite that they haven't done a lot. There's lists on there with Wilder and Tank and Jaron Ennis and Jamal Charlo and Demetrius Andrade on there. That's a disparity against the sport of boxing to have them type niggas on your list, bro. It just doesn't make sense. It's not plausible why you would have them niggas on your list. And you fall right lock in step with them, with them gross ass lists of them niggas. What you doing this little goofy shit? Get that young man his credit. Get that man his flowers. He won the fight. Whether I think he won or not, on paper he won. And it just is what it is, man. Fuck out of here with that. But once again, on the flip side, you same niggas who feel some type of way about Lomachenko being allowed to stay on certain people's lists, y'all keep that same energy with Wilder. The same niggas who have an issue with the WBC allowing Canelo to move in a certain light, y'all keep that same energy with how they allow Wilder to move and how they allow Charlo to move. You dig? We can call this shit down the middle, bro. It does not hurt to be objective. It does not make you less of a fan of a fighter if you stay true to, the integrity of whatever it is that you follow. If you stay true to the integrity of the sport, there's nothing wrong with that. Only, you're holding your fighter to a certain standard. There's nothing wrong with that. Now, as far as Devin Haney goes, I do think, how everybody's wilding out on him now, I don't think it's unnecessary, because I feel that Lomachenko should have won that fight. But I don't think that he should be beholden to a fight with Lomachenko. based on how y'all feel. And what's wild to me is, I get that his stock is taking a hit because, you know, people don't feel that he won that fight. But in order to endear himself to the fans, to the 150,000 people that bought the pay-per-view fight, bought the pay-per-view bout, he's supposed to go out there and lose to, you know, appease you niggas in a climate in today's boxing where a loss, it could practically ruin your career just because of how these fight fans, I use that term loosely, how these fight fans have been molded. They've been molded to believe that, oh man, I gotta get over. They've been molded to believe that if you lose, you know, that's pretty much the end of the world. That's the end of your career because you should retire undefeated like Floyd Mayweather. The boxing fans, not the hardcores, the casuals, but those are honestly the dollars that you want to generate. You want to be able to appeal to the casual crowd because that brings in more revenue to the sport and to your pockets. So you have to appease them. In order to appease them, you have to lose, you know, while in turn being denigrated for your loss. I'm not watching him. He just fucking lost. I don't watch losers. He just lost. Devin Haney isn't as high profile as somebody like a Manny Pacquiao who can go in there, get knocked the fuck out, and then come back and, you know, rise back up to the pound for pound rankings and be the B-side to the, you know what, the greatest pay-per-view fight ever sold. He's not, you know, he's not that dude. So for him to appease y'all, he has to go out there and lose. And just for him to appease y'all, he has to lose, which is also inadvertently deteriorating his value as a fighter in this climate of boxing. That's some wild shit to me, man. That's a head scratcher. Like, damn, that's what type of time y'all on? Y'all just don't give a fuck. Y'all niggas is cutthroat like that. Like, god damn. Now, with me saying all that, I don't think that he should be beholden to go in there and fight, you know, give Lomachenko a rematch. However, on the flip side, I do think it's the best fight for him to make. Controversy sells. There's no getting away from that. Controversy sells. Look at Wilder and Fury. Wilder and Fury, the second fight, that did good numbers. Why did it do good numbers? Because people felt Fury won the first fight. In the second fight, he goes in there, he outslined Deontay Wilder in chalk, and now you have all of these, you have Nandrolone, you know, being dug up and brung back to the, you know, put back under the spotlight after, you know, after years of it being, you know, being under the wayside or whatever. You have egg weights in the gloves, you know, you got spiked water, you got, you know, conspiratorial corners and, you know, coaches and shit like that. So that played on the hearts of the fans, and that, I feel like, ushered in a whole new fan base into the sport of boxing. It ushered in a whole new fan base. So now when you usher them into the sport of boxing, you have more eyes on the sport. And those individuals alone, you have petitions being signed and everything in favor of Deontay Wilder getting his title back. So that brought a lot more attention to the third Fury fight, which did real good numbers. So you take that into consideration with someone like Devin Haney, where you have Jean-Claude Van Damme, you got Boozy, you got Nelly, you got a multitude of entertainers saying Lomachenko won that fight. Boozy, I feel like with him saying, I won money on Devin Haney, but money won't make me lie. Money will not make me lie. That was a bullshit victory in favor of Devin Haney. Like, Lomachenko got robbed. When you have somebody of his ilk pushing that, when you have Nelly and, you know, Jean-Claude Van Damme and just a lot of other individuals who are like, yo, bro, that was bullshit, and y'all know it. It's caused a pause, because it's like, yo, nigga, like, this fight was like that, you know, it stirs the pot, and it forces people to come out and, you know, you got to pick a side, you know what I'm saying? You got to go and look for yourself. It just brings a lot of necessary attention to that fight right there. And when you get to talking about a rematch or whatever, man, now it's like, all right, yo, now it's put up or shut up. You dig? Now, motherfucker, you know, They're bringing in different judges, judges from all over the country, all over the world. I mean, it's just a lot more eyes, and people are a lot more attentive to the festivities or whatever the case may be. And I think for someone like Devin Haney, that's a positive. That's a positive, man. This has the potential of becoming a rivalry, a legitimate rivalry. This could be a legitimate rivalry, man. And like, that's what we need right now. That's what we need right now. I mean, Adam Lopez and Oscar Valdez isn't necessarily a rivalry, but they have multiple fights under their belt. But these dudes are not as high value as Lomachenko and Devin Haney. So you take them two and you put them in a situation where it's like, all right, like this could be Canelo Golovkin. This could be Manny and Manny Morales, Manny Marquez, Manny Bradley. You dig? It's like, yo, you dig? Like this could be good. This could be good. This could be great, and I feel like it's necessary, man. I'm not, but I think there's more money in it. Like, it's a financially, it's a bigger fight than fighting Tank. It's a bigger fight than fighting Shakur Stevenson, just because of the the controversy or whatever, man. Because I think if they was to get a rematch, that is a fight that's going to sell. Bill Haney talking the bullshit that he's talking. You got me fucked up, my nigga. Ain't no way in the world you about to sit here and tell me it wasn't a close fight. You're lying. You know you're lying. Your son knows he's lying. That's why he pieced out the way that he pieced out when Shakur stepped in the ring. He had to find, I got to get from in front of these cameras. I got to get away from the crowd. I got to get my head right. Because you knew it was a close fight. He knew it was a close fight. Y'all niggas know it was a close fight. I don't know what fight you was watching that would have you believe that was not a close fight. You're lying to yourself to appease your son. Fuck out of here. So with all that being said, man, I don't think that Devin Haney needs to be beholden to a rematch with Vasily Lomachenko. But I don't think it behooves him not to have a rematch with Lomachenko. But I do think it's great for him to have a rematch with Lomachenko. I do think that he should go. And now, because honestly, I'm like, when you talk about moving up in weight, you got to look at who it is that you swing. That I don't know if you're ready to deal with a Regis or a Josh Taylor. I can see someone like Rolly is. You knock Rolly out. I can see someone like you and Sandor Martin being a good fight. I think that's a real dope fight. You and Sandor Martin. But what happens now, with Richardson Hitchens and Liam Bottle and goddamn Regis and Josh Taylor and Chone and just, it's some demons up there, bro. It's certified demons up there. It is certified demons up there in that division, man. And it's like, I'm looking at you and I'm watching the struggles that you're having with Lomachenko, a much smaller man. How do you deal with now? Those cats don't have Lomachenko's skill set. A lot of people don't have Lomachenko's feet. A lot of people don't have Lomachenko's feet. But it's other aspects that they have on top of being bigger men that could really give you, be an irritant to you. And I'm just, one being power. They have not even respectable power, knockout power. Like, man, god damn it. Regis just stopped Chone, dog, in his last fight. Outlined him in chalk. Richardson Hitchens, man, like, these are not no dudes that you go in there and just like, no, bro, these niggas is wolves. These niggas is wolves. I'm tripping. I just feel like, I feel like you should grow into your body a little bit more before you decide to move up there, because that's a shark pool up there. That's a shark pool. And it could be problematic for you if you moved up there. And I don't think you're in a position where 135 pounds is killing you. I mean, of course, I don't know, because of course, I'm not in your body. I'm not Devin Haney. I'm not you. So only you know, but I do feel if you can make a fight for Gervonta Davis, you can make a fight for a Lomachenko, a rematch. You can make for that. You can make for that. And it'll be beneficial for you if you was to give him a rematch. Financially and just to endear yourself to the people. The same people that want, you would have endeared yourself to in a loss. When they would have had the reason to sit there and denigrate you and clap at you for losing. It's a fucking slippery slope that we live in, bro. Like, it's a slippery slope. It's a slippery slope. For me to appease you, I have to lose in this climate of boxing fans. I have to lose. I have to go in here and lose and be disrespected for having a loss on my resume. In order for me to feel fair, in order for me to appease you, motherfucker, that shit is fucked up. But outside of that, I do think it's a really good, it's a great fight. The rematch will be dope. The rematch is going to be a lot bigger than the first fight, and it's going to be competitive, man. I do think you should revisit that, man. I do think you should revisit that, because as much as that shit is pissing me off that the fans feel that entitled to you have to give him a rematch, or else you do have to keep them in a place where it's like, all right, we want you. You do have to somewhat appease them. It is the right. I don't think it's no right or no wrong thing to do in the situation, but it is a situation where I think you should listen to your fans. Or listen to the people, because there's too many people that's saying you lost than saying that you won. It's too many people. Majority of the people feel you lost. So I think you should go rectify that. I think you should. I definitely think you should. But I don't think you should be beholden to it either. I'm a nigga who can operate in a gray area. You feel me? Like, I don't, it ain't got to be all the way in or all the way out. No, I see both sides of the coin. Both sides have an argument, and I'm cool with that. That's the area that I'm operating in. So I would like you to go get that rematch. I definitely would. It would be dope for you to go get the rematch and beat him again. That would be dope, because not Loma, but Teofimo didn't even do that. Teofimo jumped up and never came back down, as he shouldn't have. But look at where he's at now. It'd have been better for him to even go get a rematch with Lomachenko, because he's been looking bad up there at 140 pounds, and now you jumping right in there with a shark. Like, nah, bro, that don't make no sense to me, man. So, but that's how I'm feeling about it, man. Y'all let me know what y'all think. I'm going to get me something to eat. Deuces.